right, today we're talking about healthy sweeteners because everybody likes sweet stuff. So this is what we personally like to use. Everybody's got their own thing. This is what we like to use. So.
I personally don't like sweet, but when I do.
Yeah, she likes to eat bitter, savory stuff. So she's rare. She's very, very rare. But most people like sweet. So this is what we suggest.
If you are going to use a sweetener, these are the ones to use.
Yeah.
In our opinion.
Yeah. So obviously those of you who have seen our cookbook know about maple syrup. Those of you who think maple syrup is a concentrated, unhealthy sugar, it really isn't. I mean, yeah, it is concentrated, but maple syrup does not contain the same type of sugar as common sugar used in processed or baked foods. It's rich in minerals, vitamins, and trace elements that play an important part in the metabolism of nutrients. Maple syrup has fiber, which slows down the absorption of sugars. The fact that their intrinsic sugars are bound in complex carbohydrates makes them able to deliver a slow, steady stream of food fuel, otherwise known as glucose, for energy that the body can easily balance with insulin. It's made from the sap of maple trees and contains numerous anti-cancer, antibacterial, and anti-diabetic antioxidants, along with high levels of zinc, magnesium, and manganese. In 2011, a University of Rhode Island researcher discovered 34 new beneficial compounds in pure maple syrup and confirmed that 20 compounds discovered in 2010 in preliminary research play a key role in human health, including 2 enzymes important in diabetes management. People think grade A is the best, but actually grade B is darker and more nutrient dense. So don't be fooled by the A, B, C. It's not like grading in school. And 2/3 of a cup of maple syrup is equivalent to 1 cup of sugar.
25 years ago, it was either agave, honey, or maple syrup. And I always felt...
yeah, I remember when raw food started, agave nectar was the big thing with all the raw fooders. Now then they found out it was basically corn syrup equivalent.
Yeah, right. So yeah.
Yeah, so maple
syrup was always my favorite.
Yeah. Now it is high sugar, so it is good for you, but it is also fattening. So if you're trying to lose weight, I don't suggest you use maple syrup. If you're skinny and you don't care, maple syrup's fine. Because we were doing a lot of maple syrup for a while there in cashews, and I was starting to put on some pounds. So anyway,
so yeah, well that's not a benefit of maple syrup. So let's move on to something that doesn't make you fat, that's still sweet.
Right. So the next highest dense in calories is dates. They're so dense in nutrition, 1 date is considered a meal. 2 dates is considered a full, complete meal. It's got pretty much everything you need to live.
Well, I heard years ago that if you're ever, when you have that hunger pain, when you're super hungry and you have that pit in your stomach and it doesn't feel good, eat a date. And I actually tried that, and boy, oh boy, for somebody that's very busy and doesn't have much time to eat, when I do get hungry...
1 date.
I saw just 1 date, and it worked. And I think it's because of all the minerals and all those nutrients in there. Your receptors just go... and just are like, I feel better, everything's nice and great now.
Yeah, actually, minerals are one of the best ways of holding you down your hunger. Things that are really high in minerals really help satiate you.
Now, if you want to lose weight, then dates are your friend.
Right. Now, dates are high in calories and sugar and all that, but they're so satiating, you eat less. The same thing with peanut butter. People are nut butters. People think nut butters are very fattening. They are if you eat like a bucket of it, but it's so filling that you're full for a longer time and eat less. So ultimately, when you eat nuts or nut butters, you end up losing a little bit of weight because it keeps you full and you eat less throughout the day. So anyway, dates are a great thing to throw in your smoothie. If you're making a smoothie, throw 1 or 2 dates in there, and it just sweetens it up, makes it taste so good.
And I like to put them in my fruit salad, too, sometimes. I feel guilty sprinkling a little sugar over fruit, but sometimes the fruit isn't that sweet, especially when it's not in season. So I cut up pieces of date, and then my mouth gets the little surprise of date sweetness.
Yeah. I cut up little pieces of dates in my kale salad, too. And another thing I put in my kale salad, is pineapple. Pineapple is such a great sweetener. It's all natural, has enzymes that help break down proteins. It's just so healthy for so many reasons, and it's not super sweet. When you eat whole foods like dates and pineapples, you've got the fiber in there, and the fiber helps slow down the release of sugars. Believe it or not, maple syrup has a lot of fiber in it too. So all these things help slow down the rate at which the sugar goes in your body. You don't get like this insulin spike like normal processed refined sweeteners do. So we like to make healthy, or you make for me, healthy pina coladas.
Oh, yes.
Which is coconut and pineapple.
And a frozen banana.
Frozen banana is so good. If you're in hot days, nothing beats pineapple, coconut, banana. Obviously, we got the Marcus Sweet. This is a 0 calorie, 0 glycemic, 0 insulin raising sweetener. It's just erythritol and monk fruit. Erythritol is something your body naturally already makes on its own. And actually, the more unhealthy you are, the more erythritol your body makes to try to compensate for that. It's actually classified as an antioxidant. They've been using this stuff for 100 years, no side effects. It does not affect your gut like xylitol does or other sugar alcohols.
It tastes great.
And it tastes great, and it's a great substitute for sugar. We consider this a transition food. Like, we don't use that much of it, but it's something that if you're transitioning from unhealthy to healthy, this is a great way to do it, and you don't get fat with it. You don't get diabetes from it. Diabetics can take it. It tastes great. It's got like a little caramelly flavor to it. You got the 2-pound version, and you can get it at marcussugar.com or marcussweet.com.
I mix it with cinnamon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I make cinnamon sugar, and I sprinkle it over my buckwheat crackers.
And by the way, speaking of cinnamon, cinnamon helps if you ever eat sweet stuff and you want to curb and blunt the effect of the sugar on your body, always put cinnamon with it. Cinnamon helps blunt the sugar attack on your body, and it tastes great too. Lastly, we have your son's amazing creation.
Well, he didn't create it, but he brought it to market.
Nature's Wild Berry. This is a ladidi berry, and what it does is it helps bad things taste good. This is, if you don't want any sugar at all, there's 0 sugar in this. What it does is you put it in your mouth before you eat something. You break it down and dissolve it on your tongue. And as it coats the taste buds on your tongue, it starts thinking that anything that is sour or tart that has an acid is actually sweet. So if you bite into a lemon, and we've made videos on this, it tastes like lemonade. So anything that you have that's nasty food that's good for you, add a little lemon juice or apple cider vinegar in there because it needs acid to be activated, and then put a berry or 2 in your mouth, dissolve it on your tongue before you eat. You can't mix it in with the food because it has to be done beforehand. Make sure there's some acid in there, and everything you have for the next 20 minutes tastes so sweet. It's amazing. I'm going to make a video about
The best salad.
the best salad, kale salad ever, and it involves putting a ladidi berry in your mouth before you eat it. So the trick to making this work, making everything taste sweet, is you got to have some kind of acid in there, like a little bit of lemon juice or apple cider vinegar, and you need to coat your tongue with it. Don't swallow it. Don't just put it in your mouth and swallow it. You got to swish it around in your mouth and coat.
Savor the taste.
Yeah, you got to dissolve it on your tongue. You can get it at marcusberry.com. They're actually, since they were on Shark Tank, they sold out everywhere across the country. So it's going to take probably a month or 2 for them to get back in stock. But just know this is a great sweetener if you don't want to use anything that has any kind of sugar in it at all, even fructose or anything. So anyway, there you go. These are sweeteners that Marcus and Carol like to use.
Yes, indeed.
We really do. This is what we actually use. So here's our suggestions.
So there. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. These are, in my view, the only sugars I will ever put into my body. That's it.
I suggest not doing fruit juices like orange juice or stuff like that. I mean, you can if you're doing a lot of other things. Fruit juices throw away the fiber and concentrate the sugars. Now, if you have a lot of natural fats like coconut oil or fiber in the mix, like a smoothie, maybe a little bit of orange juice is okay, but do not use orange juice by itself.
Well, look, you could do what you want, but I would never have pure fruit juice at all, ever.
Yeah, you need the
It's
fiber.
just too concentrated sugar.
Fruits are fine, but they come balanced with fiber.
And I think it's really bad for your teeth, too.
Right, yeah, the acids in your... Oh, that's right. When you use the Nature's Wild Berry and you put the acid in your food, always rinse out your mouth afterwards so your teeth don't get corroded from the acids. All right, so there you have it, folks. There's your sweeteners.
There's your sweetener tutorial.
And here's my sweetener right here. This is the best sweetener in the world, although I don't think I could share this with everybody. And I don't want to. I am greedy in that department. No, actually, I am sharing you with everybody because the videos.
That's very true, cutie pie.
All right, so I am sharing my sweetener with you. All right.
As I share my sweetener with all of you.
Oh. All right, everybody. Short of getting sappy here, nauseatingly sweet. Hopefully we gave you some inspirations here. So
And take care. We'll see you in the next video.
well, okay, bye.
Bye.